right, we're back, everybody. I'm Guy. This is my friend Pete. You know, I think everybody, this is one of those things everybody wish they had invented.
Exactly.
You know, because nobody likes raking leaves, right? So some brilliant person came up with the idea of turning each one of your hands into an actual rake, and that's what these are. These are called the HGTV Home Lawn Claws, and that's exactly what they do. They enable you to put a rake in one hand, a rake in the other. You get two of the claws,
right?
And you also get the little leaf bag basket to go with it.
Exactly.
All for a great price. This is, by the way, this is brand new, and this is the only airing, I think, of the day. I don't think these are coming back at all today. I think we only got enough for that. But should we show them how they work?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, when you rake the grass, and that's, you know, you're raking all those leaves in a big pile. That's kind of the easy part, because then you get to the part, well, okay, now I got to get this giant pile into the lawn bags. You got to be able to pick it up. This allows you to do that instead of, you know, you ever try to do it with the rake and then dump it in.
Your hands.
But here, when I can get an enormous amount of leaves, just like this, and start putting them in, look, I filled the can.
You filled the bag with one shot there, Pete.
One shot, because that's how much. And then even as you get a little bit further down in the pile, look at this, the bottom of it, those claws, you can see as you're trying to, you know, the pile gets flatter and flatter, and you want to bring that pile close together. Look what I'm able to do, where I'm actually then raking that area and then grabbing in another huge pile of leaves, just like that. So now, and put it in the bag.
We've got, I guess, do we have your choice of colors with these, Rick? Yeah. So you can go for the green or the orange. They come with the same color bag no matter what you get. If you'll notice them on our hands, they've got a little, just a little hook and loopy little thing there that adjusts so you can put your hands in there. Yeah, so it's stretchy. Right.
So you can see that. I can just put my hand just behind there, just like that. So now it becomes my lawn claw, like a bear claw.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking earlier in our other show about, you know, people that live alone, right? And don't have help. You know, they don't have somebody holding the bag while the other one's raking the leaves into it. Right. If you're one of those folks out there, you can do this yourself again. You know, it's these little tools that make all the difference in the world. All you do is just grab and squeeze, and you've basically got two rakes on either side that hold these together. You know what's funny is I did my leaves last year, and I didn't have, even though I've got a little sawed-off little punk kid that wasn't around that day to help me out, a little pain in the neck. But anyway, I was doing it, and I was using one hand was the rake, and the other hand was just my hand. And it takes forever.
Well, the rake's too long to do that, and then you're just trying to use your hand, or you're trying to scoop it with the rake like it's a big snow shovel and trying to get the leaves in there. This works so much better because of the amount of leaves that you can grab, and then because it is, we're calling it a claw, but you can see that it has that little rake edge at the bottom. So even as you get through the top of that pile, now you're able to just really rake those leaves again towards you and still get a huge pile. So even as I get to the end right here, you can see if I need to rake that, I can rake them closer. Actually, I want to go this way and grab an enormous pile of leaves. Like, you already filled them.
Yeah, because this thing's easy to do.
Because you can keep filling that up.
By the way, the little basket comes with it. And what I love about the basket is, unlike, you know, having to hold a bag, this thing will always stand upright. So you see, it pops up, it shrinks down, and you can put it, you know, for storage. But then it pops open so that you can put all your leaves in there. And I'll tell you, it's ideal. Listen, we only brought in, nice, Pete. We only brought in a couple thousand of these. There's only going to be one airing. If this is something you think you could use, and I think anybody out there that has trees that have leaves that fall on the ground, I got that thing, you know, you've been in my house, that banyan tree in the back.
Oh, the giant leaves on that?
That leaf, they come down, they've been falling for like 2 months, and it hasn't even started yet. So if you've got those pain-in-the-neck trees that are constantly dumping leaves out there, this is a good way to do it. Oh, yeah. Or you can pick up any clutter. It could be sticks, it could be branches, whatever it is. This is the way to go. Great idea for these. They're compact. They fold for storage as well. So all you need to decide is what color that you want.
Yeah, they're flat, obviously, for storage. Then the bag also folds flat and has a little Velcro on it, so you can take that and make that pop-up bin flat, and you're set to go. But being able to grab enormous amounts of leaves, it just makes that huge pile of leaves, you've raked the whole yard. You know, we all rake it into one big pile, and then it's fun to play in for about 90 seconds, and then you're like, we got to clean this up. This does it with those huge claws.
Look at you.
You can grab so much, fill that up. And that's what it is, giant mitts, and fill that up so quickly.
This is one of those things, like if you saw your neighbor and he had one of these, and like, hey, you'd be like, what the heck? Where did you get those? That's the smartest thing I've ever seen.
Cool? And again, look, I want to get the pile together.
Look at that.
rake that all together.
You know what's good is when you get down to the last little bit.
Yeah, you can get it all.
Because that, as you can see right here, I mean, look at this. You can get everything you need to get one shot. Look at how clean that is.
Constantly,
I didn't leave anything.
When you're doing it with your hands, you're going to constantly go back. Then you're getting the rake to rake it up. But here, you're like, I got to get that last bit. You rake it together because you've got all that little rake at the end. And then I'm grabbing a huge pile of leaves and throwing them in the bin. It's that simple to do. And it really is, you know, it's a lot easier than you've ever experienced trying to do it on your own or trying to do it with that rake or trying to find some other way. Unless you have a bunch of kids who you can make do this. I actually
think if you had kids, they would do this.
Actually, even for the kids.
If I gave this to Danny, if you and I gave this to Danny and Harry
to do it,
they'd look at him and they'd be like, oh, that's awesome, we'll do it. And they go out there and we put them to work for a little while.
That's true.
It's
they
something
probably
fun.
would do it.
It actually makes takes some of the, the boredom out of that yard work for you. So remember, you're going to get 2 of these. You just decide whether you want the orange or the green. We're going to give you a little pop-up basket to go along with it. Right. It doesn't matter what size. I've got big hands, and it doesn't matter. You can adjust the little hook and loop
you can
thing
tighten it up in there if you need to.
It's got a couple different sizes, so if you got a really big hand, you can open that up as well. And then these are just shaped just like little rake, little tines on a rake. So a piece of cake. You're gonna love this idea. Grab it while you can. I know we're almost out of time. We only got a couple of minutes left. The shipping and handling is reduced on this as well. It's a good time. Here's the thing. It's September, right? I know we're in Florida here, but it's starting to cool down everywhere else. I know I talked to my brothers up north, and they're up in Connecticut, and you have friends and family that are
everywhere in the Northeast.
North.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. What happens is you've got the leaves everywhere. You've got to rake them together, and then you have that enormous pile. This makes, I think that's the worst job. Raking the leaves, not so bad. Putting the leaves in a big pile, okay, you can handle that. But now we've got to get them in the bags, and this is the way to do it with these long claws. I mean, look at the ability to pick up, what, like 6 or 8 leaves in that? But no, you can pick up enormous amounts of leaves.
Look at that.
Watch me. She's not aggressive enough in the video there.
No, Peter, you're insane. Peter does an entire
because
pile.
you want to get that whole pile,
do it
and you want to make it fast. You can get underneath the whole thing. And again, you don't have to be big, and certainly you don't have to be strong, because these are incredibly lightweight, and then leaves are equally as light. So you can grab an enormous amount of leaves, and you can fill up those bags, and you can get them to the street, and you'll be done. What I think is great about the way you rake with these is just when you have, I'm overdoing it, when you have that last bit of the pile, and you want to get it together. That's when those little ends, the little rake ends, what we're calling the claws, that's when they come in handy. But you are going to be able to scoop up enormous amounts of leaves. That's the difference with these long claws. That's what makes them so cool.
They'll work with grass clippings too, if you want to do with grass or any kind of debris that you want to take care of. Remember, you get 2 of the claws. You get the lawn bag to go along with it.
Pop-up lawn bag.
It's the only airing of the day, so if you want to grab it, I would suggest you do it now. I want to remind everybody.